woke up, sat on the cold concrete floor. First thing he said was,
"She no reach."
The wound in his neck was healed, but he still felt the pain from within. Trying to figure out what he was, he had a thought, as if something has changed. Then it dawned on him. He heard a layered symphony of a world he'd never heard before. His vision are sharper now. He could hear the scritch-scratch of a beetle navigating a knot of pine outside, 3 feet away. He could hear the rumble of cars passing by. He heard sounds of heartbeat from afar, pumping blood. The beast inside him stirred. A low growl rumbled in his own chest. It wasn't a sound of anger, but of hunger. He stood up, and with a blur of instinct, he exploded into the deep woods. He said to himself,
"I'm fast now. What else can I do?"
He ran through the forest, climbing large, tall trees and jumping down. Then he saw it. A Canadian jaguar perched on a branch, eyes glowing in the dark. "No be small thing. Even you one turn me to snack," Udofia thought, a grim smile touching his lips.
"Today, not today."
It was not a gentle act. It was brutal, messy, and necessary. He liked at the blood staining his skin, the evidence of the monster he had become. The beast in him was chill, but the man in him was horrified. In that moment, surrounded by the silence of the woods, he made a vow, not to an empty space, but to the part of his soul that was still an officer. "I will never feed on a human." He turned to a shadow moving with a new purpose. He returned to his apartment before dawn. Long before pyramids scraped the sky, during the Neolithic period, in a river valley of dust and sun, a 25-year-old young woman named Lilith watched her world burn. One faithful day, on her way to get water, she slipped, hit her head on the well, and passed out. An accident that would, ironically, save her from actual death. When she woke up, her family, a potter father with laughing eyes, a mother who sang stories of the stars, her only brother who was her shadow, were gone, slaughtered in a dawn raid over a stolen object. She was the only one left, hidden by a divine accident. She could not believe her eyes, but the blood of her line held an old, vengeful magic. Their collective dying rage, a prayer for retribution, not peace, did not fade. It seeped from the soil and into her. It did not ask for her permission. It possessed her.
She rose, not as a ghost, but as a new god of death, the first of her kind. She hunted the war party that had destroyed her life. She did not grant them swift deaths. She took their chieftains' sons, one by one. She visited their wives in the night. She made a desert of their lineage until the very name of their tribe was forgotten by the wind. She fed till she could feed no more. And when the last of them was dust, the command in her blood fell silent.
For the first time, she was truly alone. She was 25 years old, powerful enough to break cities, and utterly, cosmically bored. The revenge that had sustained her was a meal eaten long ago, and now she was starving for a purpose. She spent half of 8,000 years resisting civilization. She wandered the earth, a queen with no kingdom, a predator with no worthy prey, searching for anything that could make her feel something. Anything. Until she visited a store in Canada, waiting for someone to let her in, and curious mortal, with his last defiant breath, made her feel a spark of genuine surprise for the first time in millennia. Udofia stared at the empty space where his reflection should have been, but he saw nothing. His mind, a policeman's mind trained for facts, is getting used to a new trick. Udofia built a new nocturnal life. He became a ghost story, a vigilante, a dark blur that disarmed muggers. He was the Shadow, a local myth that chilled the bones of criminals and gave the town a false sense of security. He stayed in his apartment during the day, working remotely and sending money home. By night, he fights crime. The glow of his laptop screen was his only sun, watching old Nigerian comedies to remember the man he used to be. Such activities would be pleasant for a human, but as a vampire, the boredom was a different kind of death. One overcast afternoon, the walls felt like a coffin. He pulled a hoodie low over his face, slipped on sunglasses to hide his now permanently crimson eyes, and ventured out. That's where he met Mary. She was on a park bench, reading an ethnography. 24 years old, with an aura of fearless curiosity. He was just chillin', then his alarm went on.
Where is Mahmoud? He ain't got a body, he trying to invest Mahmoud. Now you see that body, so you walk into your...
He stopped to turn it off. Then she noticed him. "Nice song," she said, looking up. Udofia looked and noticed her. "Oh, Master 27X, his music keeps me going." With a clever smile on her face, she said, "Right, you're him, aren't you? The Shadow. You're the one who hung that car thief from the traffic light by his underwear last week." His blood ran cold. "You have the wrong person." "Relax," she laughed. "I think it's brilliant. Also, your sunglasses are inside. I can see your eyes are red. Rough night?" He was thrown completely off balance. "Listen, you need to stay away from me." "Why?" she asked, her gaze direct and unflinching. "Are you dangerous?" "Yes." "Good," she said, turning back to her document. "Boring is overrated." She was a force of nature. Mary, a brilliant PhD researcher in comparative mythology, didn't just suspect what he was. She had it half figured out. And she was utterly fascinated. Mary, using her woman power, dragged him to the free clinic, insisting her friend had a rare photosensitive condition and a distrust of the medical establishment. Dr. Paul was a man in his 50s with the calm, assessing eyes of a coroner. He took one long look at Udofia, at the way he subtly recoiled from the bright examination light, and knew. "Mary, give us a moment," he said. When she was gone, he turned his gaze on Udofia. "How long since the transformation?" Udofia's muscles coiled, ready to fight or flee. "I am a physician," Paul continued, his voice low and steady. "But my family's true profession, for generations, has been hunting your kind. We are curators. We curate the population of monsters." Before Udofia could react, Paul raised a placating hand. "I am not here to kill you. I've been watching you. You protect this city. You haven't taken a single human life. You are an aberration, a welcome one." He opened a locked drawer and retrieved a small, lead-lined box. Inside, on a bed of black velvet, rested a simple silver ring etched with impossibly intricate, swirling symbols. This is a Sunweaver's ring, old magic. It won't restore your humanity, but it will project an illusion, a glamour, that makes you appear normal. Your eyes will look brown. You still won't have a reflection, but you won't have to hide from the daylight. Consider it a gesture of goodwill. Suspicious, but desperately craving the sun, Udofia took the ring. He slipped it on. He felt nothing, but when he stepped outside, the diffuse afternoon light didn't feel like sandpaper on his retinas. He looked at a car window, no reflection. But when he walked into a cafe, no one screamed. He had a fragile ally and a sliver of his old life back.
Udofia thought to himself, "You see, that's why it's good to go outside."